Whether game week 13 brought along a great sense of satisfaction or a compound of misery as a manager, there's no time to dwell on it regardless. Midweek football has finally made a return, which could mean, in comparison to previous years, a plummet in rotation. Welcome to the Game Week 14 edition of the FPL Addicts podcast. Here we go. Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening, good morning, especially if you're watching this from Australia, or even good afternoon, wherever you might be watching across the planet. Welcome to the Game Week 14 edition, and for once, we have a Monday night edition with the deadline being tomorrow. All sorts happening as per usual, and more importantly, let's have it say a hello and a big welcome to the guest that decided to tune in. Gary, hello, good evening to you. A big hit paid off for Bukayo Saka. He got 18 points. We'll get on to it very shortly. Miriam, as per usual, welcome to you as well, and thank you as always for being a regular watch of the show. Now, there should be a couple more people heading on, and I'm not usually meant to be the one running the floor or the show, let's say that, but I like to start punctual, 8:30. You know, time doesn't really stop for anyone. And I think we've actually got someone in the back room who's just slowly emerging. I'm not sure if he's ready, but we're going to put him on anyways, because it's all about putting people on the back spin. Hello, Rev. Good evening to you.
Good evening, mate. It's all right, you know me. I'm always ready to be under pressure. Ready to just take it on the chin, take whatever life has for me. Just take it with a sip of a cheeky stout and just, get on with it and do badly at FPL. It's what I do. It's what I do around here.
In fairness, you remind me of that, that meme of that dog that just says, "Oh no, I'm just a chill guy. Tomorrow will pass."
Yeah. I might be bad at FPL, but I'm just a chill guy.
Right, it's great to have you back. How is life going for you?
Yeah, it's pretty good. For once, it was nice to have Palmer and Saka in my team as they did well. I continue to get raw dogged by the Egyptian king. Speaking of dog memes. So yeah, what about you, Chaza? You doing good?
Yes, I'm doing well, thank you. I was last week. Was it Stoke, Wolverhampton, and now I am in Wembley. So, moving around.
Yeah, good stuff, mate. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I think Reidy might be joining us in a little bit as well. So,
yeah,
hopefully he makes it as well. But yeah, what an interesting week in FPL. Like, City continue to do bad. Chelsea continue to impress. Liverpool continue to be absolutely untouchable. It's pretty crazy what's going on, but it's just I just want to say hello to the regulars in the chat. We've got your FPL station, Dalipool, Miriam, as always, much love to you. Colm, ever faithful Colm, we love you, mate. In the chat, and Gary as well. Much love to all of you in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Oh, it's really good. Very quick turnaround this week, isn't it, Chaza? Very quick turnaround.
It is. Well, there's not much time to dwell, as per mentioned already. So without much to really stuff around with, we go straight to our podcast league. And
oh dear.
Let's say this, Rev. It's not the worst score, but I'll let you take the cake. I've got it nice and zoomed in too. I'll try and push it back a little, but actually, there it is.
Yeah, it's one of those where I think I've been proved almost correct If Gabriel didn't keep scoring, which he shouldn't do as a defender, he wouldn't be a great option. But I think I just keep getting proved correct that defenders in FPL aren't amazing in general, and it's more worth it to put all of the money that you have into your assets. And the controversial thing here, please chat, please don't roast me, please don't roast me. People who've been watching the stream for a long time know that I am an Everton fan, and they will notice the armband there on Bruno Fernandes. That's how much faith I have in Everton right now. I captain Bruno against us. To be honest, I want Sean Dyche out, and but other than that, Haaland continues to disappoint. But I just can't seem to bring myself to sell him because I know exactly what he's capable of. And yeah, like that's it basically. Not that much to write home about, but Cole Palmer with the goal and the assist, Saka with the haul. Yeah, that's it really. It's good to be on them, but still, it feels like it's not enough.
Tell you what I like about this is that you've gone different with a captaincy. As much as it wasn't the highest score, it still paid off having Bruno Fernandes, and he tends to perform well against Everton in recent years. So that was a good call from you.
Yeah, it was. It was all right. I think the thing about that you see on other podcasts that you don't really get here on the FPL Addicts is that we are in a mini league together. That's one of my favorite things about our podcast. And so, having the ability to talk about how to gain advantage in a mini league situation, because not everyone playing FPL is playing FPL to win FPL. People are mainly playing it for bragging rights against their mates. And so, if you want to gain on your mates and you, like myself, find yourself a little bit further behind in the rankings, then going a little cheeky differential captain might be the way to go in order to gain some points on your mates in your mini league. And that's what I attempted. I don't think it completely paid off because, other people had Mo Salah. But I'm going to have to continue to, get wrecked by Mo Salah if I'm going to catch you guys who've all got Mo Salah. I can't go and get Mo Salah in my team and then expect to catch us. It doesn't work like that because then we'll just be getting more of the same points. I get different points to you. I need Mo Salah to stop absolutely ruining my day, but I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Before I go to my team, there was someone that actually scored really well. Him being Ollie Walker-Peel. Now, he did have a differential captain, just briefly onto him.
Mm-hmm.
In Chris Wood, but he also had Justin Kluivert, who was the first player to score a hat-trick of penalties, and Gabriel down back.
Kluivert is an absolutely rogue pick. And, Ollie, if you're watching, mate, fair play to you, dude.
Huh?
Fair play.
Yeah.
Can't fault it. And this is the thing with FPL this season. Like, Nicholas Jackson continues to impress as well. Continues to impress. He's doing an amazing job in that Chelsea front line, and it might be worth tripling up on Chelsea at this point. They feel a little bit like last year's Arsenal, don't they? In that we've got affordable assets at great prices, that we can quite easily triple up on. So we've got Jackson, who's going to play 90 minutes every game. We've got Palmer, who's going to play 90 minutes every game, and they're also the focal points of their attack, whereas players like Neto and Madueke, they might be rotated a little bit more. But then there are other players who are sneaking onto my radar, and I know that I said earlier that defenders aren't that viable, but players like Sanchez are now on my radar because Chelsea have got some great fixtures coming up. Players like Colwill, clean sheets are few and far between, but if you're going to get them, then you might as well go for a Chelsea defence that, has been doing all right recently. They should have conceded Ollie Watkins should have scored a good couple, but anyway.
We've got one more person who's got to enter in. He's
No,
nearly covered the
don't. You're not, Chaza, because he said in the private chat, he said, "Don't add me in yet."
Brilliant. Thanks for letting me know.
read the chat, bruv.
I won't add him in then because
reading is a technical ability. Reading for Reidy.
Yeah, that's it.
Sure.
Next side, I'll go to mine briefly. 99 points of a week. How did this occur?
How are you getting a ton? Like, if you'd have said to me a few, like a third of the way through the season, last season, a third of the way through next season, having Haaland in your team is an absolute no-go, I'd have laughed you out the room because man was banging in hatties every week. And now having Haaland is really punishing players who've been faithful to him. And, you know me, I'm the FPL Rev. I love a bit of faithfulness. But maybe my devotion has gone too far for Haaland. And the thing is, Chaza, you're smashing it, mate. This is a great team. Well done to you.
If this shows, it doesn't take long to make up ground, but I know things can change pretty quickly because I know I was bottom not long ago. So I have faith in you as well, Rev. But I wasn't too sure about the faith in Evan Nielsen, but all he did was fall onto the floor 3 times, all for 3 assists. That was the funniest part of the weekend.
You know what, though? I think, I know that Kluivert outscored him this week, but I still think Evan Nielsen was the better pick.
I think so too. He looked
good. It's one of those where in FPL, like, and maybe this is just me justifying myself right now, is that like, outcome doesn't necessarily mean that you made the right choice. It doesn't necessarily mean that. You can be making a lot of right choices, a lot of really good logical decisions, and you can still be doing poorly. But I think Evan Nielsen was the logical choice, and you've had a great outcome there, mate. So, well played. I've got to take my hat off to you because I remember saying to you on the stream, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure, but you know what? You went with your gut, and that's what FPL is all about, bro. So, fair play to you. That's a great pick.
I think it was, I know people have diverted from Forest assets prior to the Ipswich game, but I think it was a good hold from both ends of the pitch. And I think the 3 in midfield has certainly helped. But outside of that, I haven't taken a lot of emphasis in defence this season. I just don't think it's a position that many people care. So that's, it was the best performing game week so far this season. Now I'm off to Reidy's now, who got 73 before.
And speaking of Reidy, by the way, shall we bring him in?
If he's ready to go, I hope he is.
Oh, it's the man, the myth, the legend.
What's happening, boys?
Read me like a book, Reidy. There he is. You right, dude?
Forever with the cheesy lines, Mikey. I love it, mate.
Mate, love it. I've already had 3 Rev puns so far. So, I'm going to keep it going. I mean, I have had half a pint, so, I'm just chilling. It's a Monday night, it's a long week. Leave me alone.
Is it mild? I can't quite tell. Is it?
It is a chocolate stout.
Oh, it's a stout. Yeah. Forgive me. Yeah. Oh my God.
Mate, I'm a proper old man.
Yeah, the colour was a big giveaway, and I've gone Guinness, which is much darker.
Well, yeah. Well, it's kind of the same one. Yeah.
Nice, but I'd just like you to commend you, Chaza, on an absolutely smashing week. 99 points.
Yeah, of course.
Well done. Fair play. You know what I mean? As much as it kills me, the guy has gone and absolutely, smashed this. So you're definitely sorted. The
thing is, Reidy, though, you're sat there with Mbeumo in your team. You've got to be feeling smug.
That was good.
You've got to be feeling smug.
Do you know when you make a move and you think, thank God I made that move? Because I've left Fernandez on the bench as well for 9 points. I've ended up with double Wolves defence. A few bad sort of outcomes, if you like. It was between Isak and Fernandez, and I couldn't decide. And I went, do you know what? probably because of a little bit of hate for Man United, I've gone, I'm benching Fernandes. He's playing Everton, whose defence really is actually...
Mate, I captained Bruno.
Did you?
Bruno. Yeah, I did.
I mean,
mate, that's how much faith I've got in Everton right now. We are shocking.
Yeah, I mean, you've been defending well, and you had Branthwaite back, so I didn't expect the 4-0, outcome that it was. But that was my logic. I went, I've got to bench a pen taker either way, which I didn't like.
Yeah, that always hurts. That does hurt.
Yeah, well, I brought Mitoma in, so I couldn't bench him. It just logically, I brought him in, and so I'd have got pain there for the played Isaac and Fernandes gone for pen takers. So I'm glad about the Mitoma pick because it did save me a bit. You know what I mean? But I was a bit lucky in that respect. So yeah, 73. I took a -4, another hit. I mean, Colm will be actually sort of laughing his head off. I seen not long ago. I think he was about 3 million, maybe. I seen on the Juice stream, and I was really surprised because I'm sure his rank previously has been really good. But yeah. 73 could have been a bit better, obviously. But we move on to the next one.
Colm, if you're still watching, mate, let us know how you're doing in the chat. What's your rank doing? How many points you on? Would be good to get a little update from him.
Yeah.
But
Chaza's
it's the Rev and Reidy show now, mate.
Yes.
As God intended. As God intended.
How do I do that band thing like I did with Jack? Yes. Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
Wait, you're not in Wolverhampton still, are you, Chaza?
No. In fairness, I just pressed the wrong tab then.
Oh no! Surely he's not in the attic in Wolverhampton still with that Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that dodgy Wi-Fi was funny.
How did you already go through your game week score, Mikey? Or
we did this. I'm just like continually getting raw dogged by Salah. I was talking a little bit, Reidy, about like what I like about our podcast is that we've got that mini league dynamic that other FPL channels don't have. And what I really like about our channel is that we have to make moves to gain on each other as opposed to trying to win FPL outright. We're not necessarily trying to make the best choices every single week in, week out. I'm trying to make choices now to gain on Chaza, and I'm trying to make choices to gain on Reidy. I'm trying to stay above Jack barely, and so my hand is being forced not by the convention of making the absolute correct choice, but my hand is forced to do something a little bit different, like Captain Bruno. I'm forced to do something a little bit different than maybe I don't go with Salah because that's maybe the only way that I can gain. And if I do go with Salah, then the rest of my team is kind of a little bit tough. Maybe I have to hope that Haaland starts doing better whilst everyone else doesn't have him.
You know what they say about bad decisions, Mikey?
Yeah.
They're normally followed by even more bad decisions.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm not laughing at you, but that's like generally we make some bad decisions and then we think, let's put this right. And then we mess up even more. We're like, oh, shit. But it is hard to get out of that when you are trying to think differently or approach it differently and going, right, this is the template. How do I go against that and gain, and climb back up or gain on people in the mini league, like you say?
Yeah, well, I can't have the same players as you every week, and so I have to go a little bit different, and that's what I've done this week. Again, I've done something a little bit different, so it might be something a little bit fun. But stay tuned, for when we do our little transfer reveals. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait! How good are live transfers going down these days?
Well, I can't do a live transfer, but I can tell you what I've done just before coming onto the pod.
Me and Mikey, Chaza, as you know, I've got a habit of
we love a Sunday night transfer, man.
Going early or tinkering too soon.
Once the games are finished, when it's all fresh in our heads, me and Reidy sit there until sometimes 2 p.m. texting each other, and I bet our partners lying next to us going getting blared by the light of the screen, going, Mikey, turn it off.
2 a.m. You said 2 p.m. and I was thinking.
No, 2 a.m. I meant. Sorry, 2 a.m. Sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant. But it is genuine. Like that's what FPL is all about, man. It's the workshop, innit? The little tinkering.
That Sunday night transfer thing is very dangerous. As I say, come to learn, Chaz. I mean, obviously you won the mini league last year. This year you've had a good game week now, so I feel like you're in that momentum now, and that is not scary, but I'm kind of thinking, how long is it going to be before Chaz is breathing down my neck? So you know what you're saying? Those transfers though that you make early, whether it be cup games midweek or whether it's knee jerk, you rage transfer someone out. It's
I love a rage transfer, man. I love a rage transfer.
What have we done? So yeah, but we move.
We do.
Indeed.
We do.
Moving very briefly into the public league, a 26-point lead to Tom Stones at the top at the moment, with a lot of managers putting in strong impressions in terms of having a really good game week themselves. I'll get this question to both of you now, because we've seen in recent years in midweek matches that there is a lot of rotation that is caused upon the sides. Do you anticipate there to be a lot of it?
In a way, I think you can combat that quite well. You can. I think over this busy period, it makes a lot of sense to go with like the best players from like mid to good teams who don't have European games, for example. So I know that Chelsea doesn't have a lot of fixtures in comparison to a lot of the dare I say title rivals right now. I know Liverpool seem to be in a league of their own, but if there looks like one team to be potentially causing Liverpool to be looking backwards a little bit, it might be Chelsea. But Chelsea and Newcastle as well. And I know that they've been up and down, and there's whispers about Eddie Howe. But they're still Newcastle. They're still a good side, and when things are flying for them. But for me, the rotation from an FPL perspective, we can combat it by picking players who are nailed from those teams that don't have those European fixtures to contend with.
Yeah. Which is quite funny, actually, Mikey, because what you've just said is you can't pick the same players as us because you need to do something different. However, we're picking all the nailed players. So, what are you going to do?
I'll show you in a minute, mate.
Okay. I just want to check, Chaza, did you mean that in respect to the quick turnaround and the midweek games coming back? Or did you mean generally in that? Because I kind of zoned out on that specific moment. Did you mean generally or?
Yeah, I think a quick turnaround.
A lot of people do when Chaza speaks.
Don't be like that. The guy's nearly 100-point game week, but yeah, go on, Chaza.
I should listen to Chaza more, to be fair. I might be doing better.
You should be paying attention more, to be fair. Reidy, I'm talking about the quick turnaround because we've got a game week as well. Game week 15 coming up right after this too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So quick turnaround. Yeah, I mean, the players like Palmer, Saka, Mbeumo, Salah, your Gabriels, even maybe as far as like your Cunhas, they are going to be nailed players. They are the big players amongst these teams. So, although there is a short turnaround, I do expect there to be rotation this week, but I expect it to be in other areas of the pitch for some of these teams, and it's not for someone like, say, Arsenal. It's not an easy fixture. It's Man United who they're playing. It's a big game. A new manager for Man United obviously coming in. He's just beat Everton 4-0 at home. It is an away game at the Emirates, which is always tough. But I think, even the likes of Chelsea going to Southampton, we'll see a few rotation, or a bit of rotation, but more than likely we don't expect Palmer to be benched in that game, even though it is an easier fixture. So yeah, there will be, but it just depends who you've got in FPL, right? And if you've got 9 out of, if you've got there or thereabouts the right players and a decent-ish bench, I don't think there should be too many issues. But I'm interested to see what Mikey's got to show us soon, just to see if that might be a problem for him coming up. But yeah.
I like it. Very good response from both of you there. Before we get to the fixtures, because you already touched on a couple, we'll just go straight to it. Right after we view the women's league. So Mira may have scored less as opposed to the others breathing down her neck, but she still holds a 33-point lead in the women's league. We'll see.
Can we have a look at her team?
Absolutely.
Can we have a look at her team? Yeah. Because I'm quite excited for Mira this season.
Mira's like, what's she? She's 3K.
Oh, you say she didn't do so well. Mate, I'm getting absolutely violated. Like, she scored 20 more points than me this week, and you say she hasn't done that. That's a violation.
3K.
That's an absolute violation. Look at it. She's smashing it, man. Nicholas Jackson as well. Smashing it. Gabrielle, smashing it. Saka, Salah, Palmer, smashing it.
Have you noticed though as well? Like she's what 3K was it? How many points 3K. She got total? 826 was it? Was it more? 89. Jesus, 895. Jesus,
895.
Yeah, 90 point. Oh well, 91.
Fair play, Mira. Well done, girl. Absolutely unbelievable.
Amazing.
Reidy, I was saying to Chaza the other week. I was watching one of her streams, right? And she started by like apologizing. She was going like, "Oh, I'm sorry that this isn't really that well prepared, but what I'm gonna do in this stream is talk about me thought process." And I was like, "What do you mean, like not very well prepared?" And then she pulled up like a full like mind map of every little decision tree that she'd made like as a graphic and go, well, if this happens, then I'm going to do this, and if this happens, then I'm going to do that, and if this happens, I'm going to do this. It's like, what do you mean not well prepared?
That's the way to kind of like pull people in, isn't it? Say I'm not prepared, and then like, oh wow, look at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the perfect sort of thing to do. But
I think she genuinely like that level of preparation that she normally puts in, like that eclipses that small amounts of preparation that she usually puts in. She's reaping the rewards for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fair play to her.
3K is unbelievable, unbelievable. So she's smashing it.
Fair play. Well done, Mira. Top of the league. Keep going.
Yeah, keep on going to Gameweek 14. To both of you, a particular standout fixture.
I think it's one I mentioned already.
Yeah, for me, it's Aston Villa versus Brentford. Aston Villa assets right now on the chopping block for many people. Brentford assets on the chopping block for many people. Like I think particularly in Mbeumo, who has scored I think he got like maybe close to 0 XG in the last game. I think the return of Wisa has meant that his positioning has not been lucrative when it comes to creating chances for himself. And so he is absolutely on the chopping block for a lot of FPL managers this week, as well as players like Rodgers, who's filling in that little 5 mil slot in a lot of our teams still. Some people like myself still on a concept, for example, and Aston Villa have got a lot of defensive woes. Brentford have a lot of bad fixtures coming up, but if the players can justify their price tags by getting some attacking returns, people might be willing to hold on to them, and this Aston Villa fixture might be the one that makes those FPL managers decide whether they go or whether they stay.
Yeah. Great choice.
Yeah. Just quickly on what Mikey said in terms of Villa players. I agree on the Brentford side of things. I think you were spot on with that, Mikey. But for me, not for me personally in terms of what I'm looking at for my team, but I do think that Villa players could be an actual sort of buy. And the reason
really,
for that,
I mean, their form has been bad.
Yeah, I know exactly. Depending where you're at in the game, if you've got a good few transfers, you're high up in rank, your team's kind of set, you've got all these sort of template players, if you like. I feel like luxury transfers are Villa players, and maybe not a Rodgers because he's probably got away with a few, dodgy hauls or lucky hauls this season. Possibly a Watkins though, because I know Isak obviously he's got 2 great fixtures after Liverpool, but if you look at Villa's fixtures, they're actually decent. They've got Southampton after. They play Brentford. Brentford are leaky anyway, right? Brentford are really bad defensively. They've got Southampton after that. 2 back-to-back home fixtures, and then they've got Forest. Okay, Forest is a bit trickier because
Forest is tough defensively, yeah.
Then it's City, but then after that, Newcastle, it's not too bad, and then they play Brighton as well. So and then Leicester. So I think overall, if you look at their fixtures in a big block.
Well, one sec. Sorry, before we go on, is this the time where I get to say to you, Reidy, that you're just basically naming every fixture in the whole season? Because I remember the time. I mean, like when the shoe was on the other foot, Reidy. When the shoe was on the other foot. No, but to be honest, Reidy, I think you do make a great point. I watched the Aston Villa Chelsea game, and Watkins should have had 2 or 3. To be fair, he should have had 2 or 3. It was just. On any other given day, he finishes those chances, and we will be talking about Ollie Watkins again, and rightly so.
I mean, put it this way: in short, between Gameweek 14 and Gameweek 20, they've got 5 green fixtures. On the fixture ticket, they've got 5 green ones.
Decent.
You play City and Newcastle. Don't get me wrong. Would you be surprised though if they did something against City the way they're playing? Newcastle.
What a Man City at the moment. As a Liverpool fan, you are absolutely on cloud 9, aren't you?
Yeah.
Man City do this badly.
Just absolutely love it. So those 2 fixtures, although on the ticker it's seen as the hardest fixture, City, Newcastle's red. Realistically, the way their defences are this season, they've got a really, really good run, Villa. So I do, as I say, I think it's a luxury move. And I won't go on and name more fixtures because, like you said, you'll be getting crap this time, Mikey. But yeah, going back to the fixtures overall in terms of what I think the standout is for this week, or the most exciting, I have to pick Newcastle, Liverpool as much as Arsenal, Man United's there, and that of old is probably the best standout fixture. But for me, going away to Newcastle after you've just beat Bayer Leverkusen 4-0, Real Madrid 2-0, Manchester City 2-0, and then going away to play Newcastle. That for me is a big game after a turnaround. And
I'm going to message my dad and just be like, "Yo, why aren't we Liverpool fans, lad? Like, what is wrong with you?
Why did you do this to me?
What is wrong with why have you done this to me? You just made like
it's not too late to come to the dark side, Mikey. It's not too late,
You're just slaying all these European... Mate, it is too late, and you know it is. It's too late. Go on without me, really. Go on. Save yourself. It's too late for me.
This is some sort of Lord of the Rings reference there, with the ring.
Fly, you fools.
Oh, my God.
I know that's going to make it into Chaza's edit.
That's great.
Love it. But yeah, what a game.
You've got to get them clips in. You've got to get them clips, Chaz, for Chaz's little edit. I love those edits.
I mean, I don't even think I can do the lift. I don't even think my chair will go down that much. It's probably going to go down. Really. You can still see me. Oops.
Oh, really? You're my height now.
I'll just pop back up.
Yeah. For people watching, Reidy's like 6'2", 6'3", something like that, and I'm 5'7".
It's a lot easier for you to disappear on camera for me.
But when we're stood next to each other, we look like Michael Owen and Peter Crouch. It's incredible.
Not that bad. I'm not that slim. But,
what a striker pairing that was.
Oh yeah, not bad. But yeah, that
anyway, we're chatting nonsense now, as per.
Yeah. That for me is the fixture. In terms of history as well, and what some great games. Is it the last time we played Newcastle last season away? It was when Nunes came on and scored those two cracking goals.
Was that like right after I'd sold him again, and that when he went on to mine? That was when he went onto my never list. Yeah.
Any time owning Darwin Nunes in fantasy is going to be really
emotional.
Like a roller coaster, but mostly pain. Yeah. But yeah, Chaza, go on. I know you've been eagerly waiting or patiently waiting, mate. What about yourself? What's the big fixture?
Yeah.
I've got a feeling I know it. Yeah, go on.
So I'm looking forward to Southampton-Chelsea because there's only one side who managed to score against Liverpool within the spell you mentioned. That was the Saints. They took it up to them.
That was Southampton, yeah, fair play.
I expect this again Chelsea to win, but if Southampton take it up to them, I see it being a really big challenge. And this is more of a game where managers can assess whether it's best to go double Chelsea invested or you go for the treble up, because I've got a good run ahead. I got Tottenham away, which is another really good fixture for them right up on Sunday too. So that's probably my standout, and it's probably big FPL relevance wise, a big Wednesday night in general. But in terms of games I'm going to, it's the Emirates and then Craven Cottage.
Nice.
Oh, well, okay.
Lovely little couple of fixtures there for you, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
Very nice indeed. So surely then, you're not too fussed about who wins in the Fulham-Brighton game. Do you own any assets from those teams, Chaza?
Okay, so just a quick story.
Yeah.
The last time I went to a game and the home side won was nearly 2 years ago.
You are a curse. Mate,
I am a curse.
I brought you along to Everton. Sorry, I brought Chaza along to Everton Brighton, and we got battered, 3 or 4-0?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was the dawn of the Matella, wasn't it? Oh,
I remember that one. It was like, welcome to Goodison, Chaza. Watch our team get smacked.
Yeah. Well, speaking of welcome, we got Chris Woodstock in the chat as well. Says good evening all. Good evening, Chris, to you. Thanks for joining us, mate. Let us know how your FPL season is going so far. Let's have a check out.
You must be without Cunha's doing this season. Obviously, not so much.
And Strand Larson, by the way, little cheeky brace at the weekend.
Very good.
Strand Larson as well. Not been
fair
too
play
bad.
to the fella.
Yeah, but maybe at the defensive side of things, obviously after the Bournemouth game, 3 penalties isn't what you want to be seeing. But good to have you in, Chris. And what we're looking at here then, lads, the most transferred in and most transferred out of the game week, right? How's it looking?
I'm looking at a lot of managers with Nicholas Jackson in their team, and I'm very jealous because, as I say before, in the context of like a mini league performance, with a lot of people not on Haaland right now, I feel like I have to go Haaland in order to try and catch up 2 years. I feel like that's maybe my only option. But in order to do that, I have to go Haaland to Jackson, and I just don't want to do that because,
Yeah. You're waiting for that Haaland triple hat trick that's probably never going to come. But in your dreams, you're like, it's possible. He could.
I don't think that there's a triple hat trick in him, but I do think that there's like a scenario in which he goes like brace, hat trick, goal, brace, hat trick, something like that, and that's very realistic. I still think it's realistic. Maybe I'm delusional.
I don't know what team does he actually score a hat trick, and maybe like say he was to get a hat trick and 2 assists in a game. Who's that team going to be? You know what I mean? How good have City got to be? Like, to be able to do that to someone.
If he wants Pep Guardiola to stop scratching himself, he needs to score soon. That's what he needs to do.
Oh God!
He's meant
some rumors about apparently him getting done over in the changing rooms, by some of the players and stuff.
Pep Guardiola.
Yeah,
I'm joking. In the changing rooms. Oh, mate! No,
being serious.
I don't know.
Guardiola's just absolutely karate kicked him in the nose or something. Foden's round.
It's like the Alex Ferguson, David Beckham boot all over again, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but like Tekken style. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Some Street Fighter Hadouken. Like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, there's no surprise in transfers in, is there? That they're all the 5 really that you would. I mean, is there anyone else that you'd go, oh, actually, why aren't they on the list? Or top 5 anyway.
There is one player, but I'll come to him in a bit. There is one player, I'll come to him in a bit. I've got it, guys. I've got it. The one differential you need.
And then transferred out. I feel like it's this week, like very spot on, right, Chaza? There's nothing that you're like, oh, that's a bit off. These are all.
I can understand why Vardy's the fifth most transferred out, but I just think now's not the right time to get rid of him, considering City are about to embark on a good run of fixtures. And he had a run scoring 3 games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, strange one, to be honest. He didn't feature at all against us. He got dropped.
Yeah. Ederson got dropped as well. I feel like that's at least conversation worthy at some point.
It is right now, Mikey, because you've just brought it up. I mean,
yeah. But what I'm saying is like Ortega is like, who's going to be their number one at the moment? Because I know someone who's in another mini league with me, who he brought in Andre Onana, like originally, and Onana got injured, and then he brought in Alisson. And then Alisson got injured, and then he brought in David Raya, and then Raya got injured, and now he's brought in Ederson, and he's been dropped.
All his transfers are just being used on goalkeepers.
Basically, yeah. It's my mate Pete, and he does actually have a really decent team, to be fair to him. I feel like the mistake in there is probably Isak. To be honest,
think so too.
Yeah. I think people selling Isak, it's a bit knee jerky, but at the same time, I see why Isak is such a popular sell when Jackson is on such form, because it's a very easy move from one to the other.
I think it's the fixture as well, right? Isak plays Liverpool and Jackson plays Southampton.
Yeah, but then Isak goes on a great run of fixtures after Liverpool, doesn't he? So.
But Chelsea's doesn't go bad either. That's the thing. Chelsea
well, yeah, it's fair. It's margins in it, but like the margins are definitely in Chelsea's favour.
Yeah. Yeah. There we are.
Fair play. There's those transfers, Chaza.
There's those transfers too. Well, we better crack into the nuts and bolts with some big discussion points with just such a short turnaround too. Before I go through my menu, was there anything from either of you that you were intrigued to just have a discussion on?
Not necessarily a discussion, but just to say Cole Palmer is incredible. Like he is. He's just incredible. I feel like the run of fixtures he's got, he's an absolute nailed on part of the template.
Yeah,
for me,
and that's actually a great point you brought up, Mikey, because I wonder, especially the way City's midfield, sort of how it is at the minute, looking like they've got no legs in there, they're missing De Bruyne, Rodri. How crucial?
Mate, if you take De Bruyne and Rodri out of any team in the world, they just crumble, don't they?
I know, but from a creative point of view, how crucial would Cole Palmer have been to have him at this moment in time?
Oh, it's absolutely heartbreaking for Man City fans, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. You can't predict the future, but obviously letting a player of that caliber go if you look at the tax and all these, sort of moves that happen in football with English players, you've got to say that's an absolute bargain what Chelsea have paid for him.
They've had a mare, haven't they? They've had an absolute mare. And I saw a stat the other day about Cole Palmer being one of the fastest ever Chelsea players to reach a certain milestone of goals, and he's beaten out some like absolute Chelsea legends as well. And so he's banging them in, and he's doing great. He's one of the most consistent FPL assets since he's came into the game as a Chelsea player. He can't be faulted at the moment. So fair play to him. Like it's just got to be said that he feels the old E word at the moment.
Yeah.
You can't say that, Mikey, because you always break players whenever you say essential. So,
mate, I've got him in. I've got him in for a change, and he's doing well. But don't mention it though, because like the FPL gods will smite me or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's it, Chaza. Nothing really else to discuss, and yeah. let's go on to whatever's next.
In terms of Brian Mbeumo was actually a big hot topic because he's only registered one shot in the last 4 game weeks.
Horrendous.
Best replacements within the midfield to replace him.
Oh, I've already made my move, but I'll wait.
Okay.
I'll wait.
Cool.
But right. I think I might have already told Reidy, but don't spoil it for us. But Chaza, you're going to be on to this next level tech, mate.
Okay, cool.
This is
I'm
incredible.
just going to mention that's great. You keep your secrets, Gandalf. Or, no, Randolph.
All right, Gandalf, keep your secrets.
Gandalf. Yeah, why did I call Randolph? I got mixed up with West Ham keeper from 7 seasons ago. Who did I think of? Brighton assets. I actually reckon Brighton have got a good fixture run, so they're whatever replacement. You know who's caught my eye a bit? Amad Diallo for Man United. He's got 4 assists in the last 3 weeks.
Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely great option. Maybe not for this week, but definitely the week after. I feel like I need to see how nailed he is. Because if Rodgers keeps annoying me, then Diallo is just like an absolute simple like-for-like price point replacement for me.
I've got another. Jared Bowen from West Ham. How do we assess West Ham as potential replacements coming into the side?
I feel like that's a very good option, Chaza.
Okay, fair enough. That's all right. Okay, cool. All right, so we got him.
Are we allowed to talk about anyone, Mikey, that you haven't already gone and bought or something? What's going on?
I'll give you a hint. Just don't talk about Jared Bowen. All right.
Okay.
Right.
But don't tell the rest of the chat because it'll spoil it. You know what I mean.
All right.
Yeah. Here's one for you.
Commit to the bit, boys. Commit to the bit.
Sure. Yeah. Here's someone that isn't maybe in your thoughts, Mikey, or in probably mine or Chaz's anyway. Marcus Rashford, obviously on it over the weekend. 2 goals.
I was this close, but it was his fixture.
2 goals, obviously big fixture against Arsenal. In the past, he's actually done well against Arsenal.
Has
he? He has, yeah. But, do we think that's just one of those, okay, we see a bit of the old Marcus Rashford or what he's capable of, or, is it something where you think new manager in, he's needed that for a long, long time now, it's going to pick him up, he's got to start going in form. And I remember actually, was it last season at one point, people had Rashford for quite a while in their teams? What's he priced at currently?
I think it was 2 seasons ago, where he was like almost the old E word,
Yeah.
He was smashing it.
Is he affordable at 6.9? Yes, he is. Is he a bit higher than the likes of a Johnson or a Kulusevski, or even, dare I say it, a Clive, but, he's just scored a hat-trick from penalties. But is he someone that you think, okay, well, we'll give him another couple of games, and actually then does he look like someone who's in form and that we can maybe get? I know you said about Amad, but for me personally, looking at Amad, he looks like a bit more of a wing back than he does in that forward 3 for Man United.
Yeah.
So maybe a Rashford, maybe not yet though, but maybe a Rashford.
Yeah, it's one of those like definitely, but not yet kind of players. I feel like. Who else put us to the sword? Was it that Xerxes fella?
He looked good.
He was all right. He's worth mentioning. He's in the conversation. We need to see how he does against Arsenal, obviously, against some like proper defenders, not like whatever Sean Dyche has us setting up with like Brexit FC football nonsense that he's trying at the minute. But to be fair to Everton, we did like batter them for like 25 minutes. Like it was horrendous. But for me, like I feel like Amarin like changed it around, and then we just didn't have like a plan B. So yeah, it's one of them where I feel like for me the Man United assets at the minute are Bruno.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to say Onana. Because I think, we're all struggling for a goalkeeper, and Man United, they've got more clean sheets than anyone this season so far. So fair play to them. And also they are playing with 3-4-3, which means Rashford is probably that third United asset that I could go for, because because they're playing 3-4-3, we know that Rashford, like if there's one weakness to his game, it is that tracking back. But Man United aren't as punished for it when they could get caught higher up the pitch because they're playing with that extra defender. So yeah. So something to think about. Like they are playing a system that suits Marcus Rashford. Definitely need to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, fair enough. West Ham sort of players. I know we've talked about Bowen a little bit, but there are
no, we haven't.
There are a couple that I want to mention. So someone who's been in a little bit of form lately. I mean, West Ham's fixtures are not too bad, in all fairness. They're not. What's weird is they've been awful. They've been terrible at the beginning of the season. But then all of a sudden, they've beat Newcastle away, in which Wan-Bissaka got a goal and a clean sheet. He's then played Arsenal. He's got himself a goal. Obviously not a clean sheet because Arsenal scored 5, but he's come away with 6 points, which isn't too bad. He got 6 points before that and a 0-0 against Everton. So the guys basically racked up 27 points in 3 games, which isn't bad. Too bad going. He's just gone
it's pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And he's just gone from 4.4 because he did have a price drop up to 4.5 now. So he's back to his original price. Imagine 5 back in the United days maybe, but decent fixture run. I think he's possibly a pick, and I think that the likes of even Kudus, who's coming back from a lengthy ban, he got that 5-game suspension. Kudus is another one that if you were going to West Ham, a West Ham player, I would say in FPL, that could be a shout. He's 6.2. He's not too expensive. What do you boys think of those two, of Wan-Bissaka and?
I definitely think Wan-Bissaka's like a pretty good rogue shout. You know me, like I hate defenders in FPL this season. I'm not even going to bother thinking about them. I feel like they're just like goalkeepers with extra steps. But I think Kudus is probably a great shout, mate. And we'll have to keep an eye on them because I know that they've got some really good fixtures coming up for sure. So yeah, a couple of great shouts there, really, mate.
And what about you, high flying Chaza? Just to absolutely smash the game week. Surely there's some plans up your sleeve. I feel like you're holding it back at the minute. You're waiting for that moment when you're like, right, this is what I'm thinking of this week, or I've made this move, or you're probably just gonna go, I'm rolling again, boys. Without sort of giving too much away.
No, fair enough. No, I think I'm going to make a move this week, and I think West Ham are firmly on the radar. And I'm so glad you mentioned Wan-Bissaka because he was mentioned on my video today.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Hot. It's hot.
Before we move on to the next little topic, just want to say Hershey Boxer Do is in the chat. He says, "Can you rate my team?" Yeah, drop it in the chat, mate. We'll have a look at it. No worries, dude. Yeah.
When
will be good to discuss your team. Nice one, mate.
Double or triple Chelsea at the moment?
Ooh.
I think
ideally triple.
Really?
I think I would go either Colwill or Sanchez, and then Jackson and Palmer. In an ideal world, but
I was going to go like defenders, Chelsea defenders for me. It'd be Cucurella. Over Colwell.
But this is what I mean about defenders, though. Yeah. This is my philosophy at the minute. Is like I don't believe in, like I don't necessarily believe in spending more than 4.5 million on a defender. I don't feel like it's worth it at the moment.
Yeah.
Like Gabriel isn't going to score every week, and every team like clean sheets don't exist.
Yeah.
You can clip that and play it to me every week if you want, but clean sheets don't exist.
Yeah, it's nice to see someone like I don't know how you actually say his name, Aina from Forest, right?
I know. Yeah. Really sorry if we butchered that, but yeah, shocking.
Shocking. I'll just call him Ola. So he's obviously Forest have had a bit of a patchy-ish run lately. I mean, they did play Newcastle and then Arsenal, and then they've beat Ipswich only by 1 goal, but 8 points, and he's the 3rd highest scoring defender, in FPL at the minute, behind big version, none other than as you mentioned, Gabriel. So he's doing pretty well considering.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Hershey in the chat, mate. Sorry, I don't think you can send images, but just type your team in the chat and we'll have a little.
All right.
He's done it. He's done it. Let's do it.
Johnson.
Yeah, the Verbruggen, not bad. Timber's a good shout, by the way. I feel like he is a good shout. What do you reckon, Reidy?
Yeah. I like the Timber pick. I mean, Ben White's not back or not going to be back, for another couple of weeks at least. So I think Timber at 5.5's great pick. Leif Davis, he's looked really good this season, considering he is playing for one of the the poorest teams, if you like, in the league, but he's really attacking. Lewis, obviously, if you've got him, you keep him. I don't feel like he's someone you buy, but he's fine, I guess, with City's fixture run coming up. Whether he keeps his place is another thing. But then the midfield and forwards, absolutely brilliant.
I love a 3-5-2 right now, Hershey. I love a 3-5-2 right now. I think that's excellent. I think with so many good midfielders, Johnson scoring again. And you've got that super cheap defense. Is Timber 5.5 or 5? What's Timber at the moment?
It might be 5 even. Yeah, it could be 5.
Yeah. You know what? I love that team there, mate. I think that's a solid 8.5 or a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, Timber's 5.5.
Yeah, 8.5 or a 9 out of 10 for me. That's a great team going forward. That's an excellent midfield.
This game week, if he had that midfield, I know Bowen obviously only got 2 points, but other than that, all the other 4 have returned for him. So he must have had a good game week.
Yeah, that's a fantastic team, mate. Yeah, and great to have you in the chat as well, mate.
Yeah, that's great. All right.
Yeah.
I think it might be time to
we'll get to the captains in a little bit, mate. We'll get to the captains in a little bit.
We will.
Cool.
Team time, is it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, he's going first.
I'll go first because basically
go on.
You boys are hyping this big. I know Mikey especially, but you are hyping it up. I'm just going to say I've took another hit. All right, I know.
Mate, it's paying off though. That's the difference. It's paying off.
I think it's come. I've run it. It's run its course of luck now, right? So I think now is the last one I'm going to do. I need to keep it sensible. I've got my plan in place. And this is what I'm rolling with this week. So, still got the double Wolves defense. Basically, obviously, based on the last game, it's not looking great. They do play Everton, but they'll still probably concede in that game. Saar might even get dropped after conceding 2 penalties, as in making a foul on Evan Nielsen. So we'll see on that one. But double Wolves defense for this week. I've got Gabriel United, Lewis against Forest. Great midfield. I mean, best midfield I've had all season. Obviously, Mbeumo looks a little bit off it at the minute. And then Jackson and Cunha. And the bench isn't looking too bad, actually. Wissam and Robinson on the bench, which isn't too bad. But my moves this week were I brought in Saka for Bruno.
Yeah.
And I brought in Jackson for Isak. So that was for the -4. The Isak move has frustrated the life out of me because a couple of weeks back I wanted to go Jackson. I was like, I'll go Jackson. I think he's looking really good. And it was actually probably just near the end of the international break, and I brought in Palmer and Isak, and it should have been Palmer and Jackson. So that really annoyed me. That, and I know there was always
it's just fine margins, mate. You can't beat yourself up over that.
It's poor decision making because I wanted a player and have chose not to get him and got someone else. That's a bad decision for me.
I don't think it's poor. I think it's
especially that I knew that I wouldn't want to play Isak against Liverpool because of bias. You know what I mean? So I didn't need to get him. But hey,
to be fair, Hershey said he did the exact same thing, man. So don't beat yourself up. I feel like a lot of managers are in that boat. They're looking across on that green grass, on the other side of Jackson, going, oh, if only.
Yeah,
you can't get them all right, man.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily bad the choice, It's just it's about outcome, and it's a game of outcomes, and I feel like you've made
a
good choice.
It's like good choice, bad outcome, but for me, that's gonna.
Newcastle are great fixtures though, so apart from the Liverpool one, but
yeah. But yeah, so that's me for this week. How about you boys? Who's next?
Great stuff, Reidy. I like it. It's systematic. That's what I like. Who's next?
Mate, your team looks sick. Yeah. Just get up my team and I'll show you the one move that I've made. Because I'm
just on the
phone. Yeah, on the points.
Sure.
I'm on my phone, Reidy, so I can't bring up my
No,
screen.
just one move. I mean, is that? I thought you were hyping us up for this, like 3 transfer.
Mate,
minus 16.
It's gonna be beautiful, guys. You can't.
On its way.
And by the way, shout out to Nick Captain Zap in the chat as well. He's come to join us. He says, yo to you, mate. Let us know how your FPL season is going. I'm about to reveal the most sacred, blessed transfer. So a lot of people have been talking about Mbeumo. This week he's not been great. So he is out my team, and I have bought in the FPL legend himself, Jared Bowen.
Okay.
He's in. He is fully in. So he's out. No -4s for me this week. I feel like I've taken too many hits over the past couple of weeks. But yeah, still no Salah. But as I say, when you play in a mini league, you have to, pull your punches somewhere and hope one player does badly whilst another player that you have as a differential does better. Haaland can't blank forever, or at least I hope he can't. But yeah, I feel like Mbeumo to Bowen is the one, and I feel like West Ham have got some great fixtures. Bowen's looked good this season, but he's not quite had that good little set of fixtures for me to quite go in on him yet. But I feel like now he does, and so I've been waiting for this move for a while.
I think you're going to be sort of Brandt waiting a long time before Haaland gets that.
I don't think I am.
You're going to be playing the Brandt waiting game.
Is that home to Forest? It isn't a bad fixture. It's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I think ever since Haaland told Arteta to stay humble, like he's been absolutely shocking. So all we need is
he's not been shocking.
Haaland.
He's not been shocking though, has he? From a statistical point of view, he's had the chances, hasn't he? He's just not been hitting the target, whether it be confidence, whether it be, I mean, Arteta's there in the back of his mind, pecking away,
I'm going to captain Haaland.
Okay.
As well, I'm going to captain him. I feel like I've got to.
You know that Jack Nicholson gif where he's got
like
the crazy smile. That's what me and Chaza just popped into our heads. Me and Chaza were like,
But that's the thing, man. Like I feel like I've got to make that move. I've got to punish the people who don't have him, and the best way to do that is playing Forest at home, right? And I feel like, and by the way, 100% Forest have been defensively really impressive this season in general. But I'm chasing, and these are the kinds of moves that I have to make in order to do well in FPL. And speaking of doing well in FPL, Nick Captain Zap, he got a 10,000 rank game week. I'm assuming that's a game week rank with 108 points. So well done to him. That is a mighty team. Nick, if you don't mind, post your team in the chat, and we'd love to see it. How did you manage 108 points? That is incredible. What a haul for you. So well done, mate. But yeah, that's my team. And Mbeumo to Jared Bowen. We're gonna send.
What about defensively though, Mikey? What
defenders don't matter.
No, I'm interested to know what's your what are your defenders for this weekend? Oh, sorry, this week I should say.
Well, I think I've
Aiden Ori.
I've got Aiden Ori, Conser, and Rico Lewis.
And Lewis, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So
but it could be anyone who plays, and I'll get 2 points from all of them.
Yeah. No Arsenal defenders in
I could have Trent and Saliba and any Man City defender who plays, and I'd still get. I would still get 6 points. I'd still get 6 points.
Yeah.
Because defenders are poo. So yeah. So Nick in the chat, I'm sorry, mate. There's no way of sending an actual image or something. If you don't mind typing it out, but don't worry if you don't want to. You feel free to just chill.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, that's the only way we're able to do it over the chat.
Yeah. Brilliant. All right, are we ready to go?
Jeroboam hype train, though. We're on it. We're absolutely on that choo-choo Jeroboam hype train. It's going to happen.
Okay. No, I just want to check.
Oh,
we ready to go?
Are we doing a Chaza?
We are.
Is it the live transfer? Oh, come on. It's live transfers on the podcast. Let's get some hype. Here we go. I can't wait. I love watching a live transfer. The dopamine hits so hard, Chaza, when you do a live transfer.
It does, yeah. Right. Well, we got 2 free transfers. We've done well, banked it up. It was a good opportunity to do so last week.
3.2 mil in the bank. Smashing it, bro.
Well, I think the first one might look a little obvious. So Wood, unfortunately, it's...
So you don't have Wood anymore? You lack Wood, is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's going. And we're going to bring this guy in, Nicholas Jackson. So that's going to be one of them.
What's that? Chaza's got Wood?
No, Chaza doesn't have Wood anymore. He's got a problem getting Wood. So he doesn't have Wood anymore.
He's got rid of his Wood.
Yeah.
Or the Wood. Go on. Go on, Chaza.
Okay. I feel like Chaza just puts up with us every week.
Okay. One more to go. Now, you see...
So Chaza's got Wood for Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just more... So, I could roll the other. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I could be fine fielding one of Morgan Rogers or Mbeumo. I reckon that's going to be quite an open game, Villa Brentford. But Mbeumo... He's got Newcastle home on the weekend, which is actually not bad. Bit hard, this. Bit damn hard.
How much
is it a bit? If it's a bit hard, Chaza, maybe you shouldn't have got rid of your Wood.
Fair.
Thank you, everyone. I'm here all week.
Yeah. All right. Well, this live transfer thing can't be here all week, so you know what? I'm just going to take him out anyways.
Yeah, and Mbeumo. See you later, mate.
All right, he's going to go now. This gets a bit of a pickle. So budget 8.9. We'll make it 8.7. See what's going on. So there's that, right? Let's go. You know what is a good idea sometimes? Go transfers in this round because we just done it on the cheat code. So Matoma's most transferred in. So I think Man United I'm currently ruling off because they've got 3
the Arsenal fixture,
fixtures. Brendan Johnson's an interesting one, but I was on him just before, and then I took him out. So it's like going back to your ex after a short period of time. So do I want that? No, I'm not too sure. So it's Matoma, Bowen. So it's going to be one of those 2. So I'm either going to be like Reidy.
Yeah, if only Quentin was here, he'd have an excellent food analogy for us, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Okay.
I think Bowen. I mean, I know Mikey was talking about it before, but considering you've got the money in the bank, you've got Salah, Palmer, Saka, you've got all these guys and Virgil as well. I think it is an opportunity to go for someone like Bowen, who's going to be.
You can't go Jeroboam. I'm going Bowen to catch you up, you melt. So you can't do that after I've told you.
Consolidate, Chaza.
You can't do that to me, bro. You can't do it to me.
Yeah.
That's like that's the FPL equivalent of getting cock blocked. Like,
if you look at West Ham's fixture, was it?
Stop looking. Well, you could go Kudus, couldn't you?
Leicester, then Wolves, then Bournemouth.
Stop looking at Jeroboam, Chaza. He's my pick. Chaza, don't do this to me, man.
Not
Come
only
on.
that, listen.
I've just told you that I was going to do this.
Listen, one sec.
You can't just cover me off immediately. I need to try and catch you, bro.
So, one sec, Chaza. You'd have Bowen who plays tomorrow, so you'd have someone in a fixture tomorrow. Bowen
Reidy, stop!
Wait. Bowen then doesn't play till the Monday of game week 15, so you'd have a player on the last day. Well, actually, you've got Cunha, Nate, and Ori maybe. And then also, they then play on the Monday again, West Ham against Bournemouth in game week 16.
With everything in my soul, I hate you both. You're both no longer my friends.
Okay, this is how I see it. Because I had this similar dilemma this time last season where I picked Bowen was a doubt, and then he missed a weekend, and then I picked Mitoma, but I really should have gone better off just holding Bowen because he's just more of a consistent pick, and also
he's a bit more robust, isn't he? He's a bit more robust.
As an Arsenal fan, you should go Erdegaard.
No,
just saying.
Nah, I know why you're saying that, mate.
What about Enzo? Actually, by the way, can we talk about Enzo? Do we get to talk about Enzo? Actually, at the moment?
Nah, that's because he's not worth mentioning.
What do you mean? No, Chaza, pull him up.
He's playing as an 8. He's playing as an 8.
Yeah. Okay.
Fixtures, history.
Okay, and then history. Look at his points over the last few games. 4 and 12 and
you
what?
just wouldn't pick him though. You just wouldn't.
Hard.
Who you leaning towards, Chaza?
Look, guys, you've got Nick in the chat laughing at me. You know what I mean? Like,
Chaza,
you know like this is why I'm never revealing my team again while Chaza's on the stream. Chaza, I'm going to invite you to my house and then not open the door. That's what I'm going to do. I hope you go to the toilet and you run out of loo roll. That's what I hope.
There you go, there's the team.
He's done it. Oh, he's done it, Mikey.
I hate you both so much.
Oh no, Mikey. You know what that means now, don't you? One more transfer. You might as well get it done. I mean, before the deadline tomorrow, at least, we want to potentially.
The thing is, like, I can't go Rodgers to Salah and Haaland to Jackson. I'm 1 million short for a -8.
Oh. But you haven't took a hit this week, have you?
No.
I think that's the thing. Once you get that bug for it, it's so hard to not then get off it. So I've hit it for the last 2 weeks or 3 maybe even, and that's it now. That's me done. I'm bored of kind of my teams are good. I'm happy with the team and so on. I'm just going to stick with what I got for now.
I'm not happy with your team, Chaza. But anyway.
No.
Speaking of not happy with the team, Nick, I think you're missing a defender when you sent that. So you've got Colwell and Robinson, but I think you need to tell us that third defender that you're going to play, mate. So get that one in the chat so that we can rate your team for you as well. Chaza, I know that, I just want to say that, like, actually, imitation is the highest form of flattery. So, actually, I'll take the compliment, mate.
Mikey wanted to swear at you so bad then, Chaza, when you were doing rage. He was like, you look like you're crying, but inside he was like...
No, I am dying inside, by the way. I for the record, I am fully dead inside right now. Yeah. I went for a proper differential. Well, before we go into the captains, let's rate Nick's team, who's in the chat.
Sorry, my bad.
So his team is Onana, Aina, however you say it. Colwell, Robinson, Johnson, Salah, Saka, Palmer, Casemiro, Wood, and Jackson. So I feel like that's a good, solid 7 out of 10 there for me. I think the only problems that I have going forward will be Casemiro and Wood. I feel like maybe you want to move if you want to have a Man United asset around that price point. I'd move Casemiro on for Amad Diallo. That could be a great shout for you. And Chris Wood's fixtures are looking a little bit dire at the moment. Well, he's still good. You know, if someone is going to score from Forest, it's probably going to be him. So, you know, if you want to make moves elsewhere, you can keep hold of him.
That's it.
But yeah,
he's in form, isn't he? But yeah, for me, captain this week is going to be Palmer. I know Mikey's obviously already said Haaland. He's going against the grain as such. What about you, Chaza, captain-wise? Are you...
Can I just go through my segment, and then just say who my captain is at the end?
Yeah, gosh, really, come on. Don't you know how this works, man? Like, Chaza's got to do...
Hey, Chaza! Ooh. I want to know...
Did you just kick us both out?
Well, that was great, wasn't it? Yeah. Thanks, Reidy, for the entertainment. We kind of need a breakaway at times. So we'll start off with captains. My Salah goes away to Newcastle, but in recent times, he hasn't had the most amazing record at St. James Park. 1 goal, 1 assist in his last 5 appearances at the venue. However, overall, he holds a really good record against the Toons. It being 8 goals and 6 assists in his 15 appearances in the Premier League. Erling Haaland, the asset that Rev remains faithful and adamant about. He's actually got a pretty good record. In his 2 home games in the corresponding meetings, he's managed 4 goals against him. And in the first meeting, he produced a hat-trick, in which is an outcome that Rev is crying out for these days. Cole Palmer. Yes, it's not the chippy chips and merchants fish and chips. We're talking about the guy from West London who's travelling to the South Coast. He's only had 1 goal in terms of returns in his last 5 Premier League away trips, but his 43 shots and 34 key passes are both more than any other Chelsea teammate, with the latter being at least twice more than any of his mates playing alongside with. Bukayo Saka, only 1 blank at home. 59 points of a possible 98 have come from his outings at the Emirates this season, it being 4 goals and 5 assists from his 6 appearances. And he's returned in each of his last 3 corresponding fixtures against Manchester United at the Emirates. And Nicholas Jackson, the curveball one, has been a big talk of the town. And I mean, he was moonwalking in the 20th century, and now he's moonwalking his way up the transfers in the 21st century. He's the 2nd top scoring player in away matches in fantasy this season, having amassed 46 points across the 6 outings, it being 5 goals and 3 assists. Not long ago, he scored the opener at the King Power, and he has also scored 4 goals. Well, a goal in each of Chelsea's 4 away outings within inside the first 10 minutes. Rev's been too faithful. Reidy was just about to leave, and maybe this podcast is about to bow out for another edition, but that's it for Captain's Corner. Rev, what have we got there, mate? Oh, yeah, my captain's Bukayo Saka.
Oh, interesting. I think
I'm just cursing your team, mate.
I couldn't tell if you were cleansing or
they got Bowen in it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Is this the Exorcist or something?
Yeah, I'm exercising Chaz's team.
Exercising Chaz's wood because he's left.
That might call it a day.
I can't commit to the bit. Okay, no,
it's Action Jackson.
Serious mode. Yeah, like I'm just gonna, rebuke all of Chaz's points this week, and pray not a prayer of blessing, but a prayer of curse, because Chaz has copied me. Chaza, you won't get any points this week. How does it feel?
Great, and
he probably doesn't care because where's Mikey? Mikey's bottom of the mini league, and Chaz's.
I'm not doing as badly as Jack, right? Elite.
Chaz is right behind. Well, not right behind me, actually.
22 points. It's not much.
Yeah, but I'm glad you didn't go Matoma and you went Bowen instead. Oh, yes.
Makes it interesting. Does now. All right. I think that does it. Anything else before we bow out?
Eat shit, Chaza.
Cool.
Oh, he's mixed it up.
That's fair. I like
it. Nah, he knows I love him, really. He knows I love him. He does.
All good. Nothing else.
And now I'm not sure if I want Bowen to do well or badly now. Like, maybe I captain Bowen, so I've got twice as many points. Oh, Nick says he might triple captain Palmer.
That's cool. Good on him.
That's a terrible.
Nice. But
Who were Chelsea playing this week?
Southampton away.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'd do it in an away game, to be honest, and especially in the single game week. Like I know most that home games work really well. In a single game week, but I'm not sure I'd do it away. To be honest, it's bold though, and I respect it. But yeah, he is due like a mad haul though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Chelsea haven't had a penalty in a while either. Just saying.
True.
So
anyone supports Southampton. Yeah, but it's nice to have a few new people. What I will say is, it's nice to have a few new people in the chat tonight.
It's been great.
Hershey Box, obviously Miriam as always. Chris dropped in earlier. So yeah, thanks guys for watching along and listening to our nonsense. I think
lovely to have him. Enjoy your shower, Nick, as well, and be sure to.
I think Chaz has had enough fair to say of us two. Well, maybe you more, Mikey. Well, he's gone for Bowen, hasn't he? And I think that's just killed you off.
I've even got the crucifix, man. Nick, by the way, for context, like I am an actual reverend. Yeah, I am a priest. That's like my day job. So just in case people didn't know about the bit that we're doing right now, but yeah. Anyway, see you later, mate. Have a good one.
Right. Yeah, have fun, guys. Let's go to another match day and sort.